What's up guys, Strypz here, welcome back to the channel and thank you for stopping by and checking out another video. So I just want to preface this video with a couple of things. One, I am trying a brand new microphone and a brand new way of recording the audio, so if stuff is a little bit wonky, I do apologize. And secondly, this video is not for the faint of heart. I thought I was going to be coming back with a very lighthearted topic, and I thought I'd be coming back with a very lighthearted video when I started doing pre-recorded videos again, but that's not the case today. So this video is not for the faint of heart. If you are sensitive to topics of depression and suicidal thoughts or anything like that, this is not the video for you. Stop now, go check out one of my happier videos, which you can check out right over here. But if you think that this will help you, then please continue to watch and soldier on to the very end. And the other thing is, if you are suffering with depression or suicide, anything like that, right there in the description will be the phone number and the website to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline and all that. I am in America, so it may be different for my people who are watching in a different country. I'm really nervous about this video. I don't know if you can tell in my voice. It's shaking a little bit, and I'm really, really nervous about this video for two reasons. One, it is a very, very taboo topic. And number two is because I am presenting this in fursuit, because I don't think I can emotionally handle seeing my face on camera talking about this topic. This kind of gives me, even though Strypz is me, it gives me a barrier to my human self who is going through all the stuff in my personal life. And I know that may be cheating a little bit to have this barrier, but I have to. I'm getting real vulnerable in this video, and that's hard for me because I don't get vulnerable. I don't put myself first, and that's what I'm doing. I'm putting myself first for once, and I'm not thinking about other people for once, because hopefully by me being vulnerable, it will open up a discussion and hopefully it'll help some people. So yeah, the last thing that I have to preface this with is everything that I'm going to be discussing today is personal to me. Everybody's experience is different. This is my experience. So yeah. Before I do that, I may ramble a little bit, as I already am, because I'm doing this without a script, because I don't know how you script an emotion. You can't script an emotion, so I'm doing this raw, off the top of my head, off the cuff, and I think this is like the fourth or fifth time I've tried to film this video, because every time I get into it, I get just really, really emotional and get ready to just quit and give up and just give up on this idea as a whole. So please bear with me. Lastly, I have to say that none of this has been medically diagnosed, but if it looks like a lion, it walks like a lion, it roars like a lion, then it's probably a lion. I'm just trying to tell a joke to lighten up the mood, but let me just finally just get into this. Basically, for the last 2 years, I have been suffering with really severe chronic depression. I've always had depression, and it's always been pretty bad, but the last 2 years have made it worse, and the last 2 months have taken it to the absolute extreme. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then you've probably seen that in the last few days, at least before recording this video, I have not really been myself, and I've been talking about some pretty dark stuff that I don't usually talk about. Usually on my social medias, whether it is Facebook or Twitter, I try to keep everything light and happy and bubbly and pretending like everything is okay, even when it's not. And the last few days, at least before recording this, I finally reached my breaking point, and I finally was just like, I can't fake this anymore. I can't feign being okay anymore. And in my own weird way, I halfway kind of sort of reached out for help in a twisted backwards way. And I think that's also what this video is. I think it's another cry for help and a cry for, I don't know, not really attention, not really, I don't know what it is. It's just a cry. It's just me crying and being vulnerable, and in my vulnerability, trying to help somebody else. That's the best way I can describe this video. The last 2 months, everything in my personal human life has kind of just hit the fan in the most spectacular way possible, and not in a good way. You guys know that about a year and a half ago, I got a job with a new company that requires me to travel quite a bit for work. The other thing about that job is that it was completely commission-based. And because it's completely commission-based, I can go to work for like a full week and barely make any money. I can also go to work for a full week and make really, really good money. I can also go and not work for 2 and 3 months at a time because it's kind of seasonal work. That's not great for sustaining a new marriage and a new family. I will also say everything with me and my wife is okay. Everything with me and my wife is good. She's still standing by me, supporting me, and loving me through all of this. And without her, I really don't know where I would be. No, I know exactly where I'd be, and I'll get into that later. But I want to say a huge, huge thank you to my wife first and foremost. So yeah. And if you guys don't know, the reason why I'm accentuating that point is that my wife and I just got married 2 years ago. So I don't want you guys to think that it's something wrong with my marriage. It's not. It's all pretty much financial stuff. There's other stuff that has added to the depression, but it's been mostly financial stuff. So over the past 2 years, I have had a plethora of issues with my car that has just been really, really financially devastating. Couple that with sporadic work schedule, commission-based pay that is not guaranteed, and my wife's paychecks from her job not being huge. Stuff has been a real struggle financially. At the end of last year, at the end of last year, no, 2 years ago. Either which way, 2 years ago. Something like that. I don't know. I've lost track of time. Depression will do that to you. Either which way, my wife and I were living in this apartment complex, and when we moved out, we still owed the complex money for the last month's rent because of how sporadic my job has been. Shortly after moving out of the complex and moving to another place where we are secure and have a roof over our head, our finances got worse because my job got even more sporadic. And it got to the point where we still were not able to pay the apartment complex. Here we are, a year later. They finally got tired of waiting, and they garnished my bank account. They didn't just garnish my wages, they garnished my entire bank account. So that was just over 2 months ago, and it has been absolute hell these last 2 months. And I've been trying to pretend like I'm okay. I'm not. I'm not in the slightest, because every time I think things can't get worse, they get worse. And that was just the garnishing of my bank account was just the start of it. Actually, 2 weeks before that, I found out that my vehicle may or may not be totaled, kind of, sort of, because there is some rust that I didn't know about when I purchased the vehicle, underneath the vehicle, that is on the frame of the vehicle. Fortunately, it's unibody, so it can be repaired, probably, but that's just a giant question mark. But of course, I have not been financially in a place where I can go take it to get looked at, and so I don't know. Either which way, find out that the bank account gets garnished. What garnishment is a court order for finances. Bank account is garnished. I finally get another day of work. I'm on my way to work, and my tire blows. As I said earlier, I have to travel for my job. So my car is literally my livelihood. I literally need my car for work. So it's nothing but the grace of God that I have AAA, and I was able to get the car towed back home, because without AAA, I'd have been completely and utterly stranded and in an even worse situation. So I was able to find the silver lining in that situation. All that did was make the depression even worse. The thing about my depression is it makes me very lethargic, and it makes me not want to do anything, like anything at all. I just want to curl up in a ball and just not exist, because I have no energy, and I just feel absolutely horrible. So that is not a great feeling. It's a feeling that I've had before, but usually I'm able to pull myself out of it. I'm usually able to watch YouTube videos or talk to friends, and they're able to pull me out of it. But this time, I've had moments where I come out of it, but as soon as whatever that moment of joy is over, I'm instantly back in the depression, and it has been horrible, because over these last 2 weeks, it's just been worse, because I haven't wanted to do anything, and all I can do is just lay there and think about how horrible of a husband I am, how horrible of a man I am, because a man is supposed to provide for his family, and here I am, a giant failure, not being able to provide for my wife and myself, and that has been really emotionally damaging. And I think part of it is the way that I was raised. Part of it is that, I'm an adult trying to figure out how to adult, who just kind of got kicked into adulthood without really any real proper training. Great. Wonderful. And when I say it's part of how I was raised to think that mental health is something that we can pray away. I was raised Christian. I still am a practicing Christian, and I was always raised, if you just pray really hard, God will take away the sadness, God will take away the anger, God will take away the pain, and everything will be okay. And it's been so hard to pray with everything that's going on. And I do believe that God can perform miracles, and I do believe that he can take away our sadness and our pain and our hurt. But buddy, it's been really hard to keep my faith through all of this. Through my vehicle not basically running, to not having finances, to the point that I literally owe an apartment complex almost $2,000, and until I pay that $2,000, I don't get my bank account back. But on top of that, I can't work, so I don't even know how I'm going to pay off the $2,000. And so all of that spiral of depression has led to suicidal thoughts. And I've had bouts of being suicidal before, long before this. I have struggled my whole life with being suicidal. And it is horrifying because even though I struggle with suicide, I care so much about everybody else around me. I care so little about myself that I don't think about me taking my life hurting those around me. I think about taking my own life as just being a burden to everyone around me. I already feel like a burden, but I'm just like, if I take my own life, then everybody around me is going to be under bigger stress than they already are, because they're going to have to financially come out of pocket for my funeral because I don't have life insurance, and my debt is going to be passed off to my wife. And, you know, here I am just being a bigger burden. And so, you know, even in my brain, if I take my own life, all the pain and suffering will end. I'm just like, it's just going to cause more pain for everybody else. And I'm just like, that's the exact opposite I want to do, because I just want to put a smile on people's face and I just want to make everybody happy. And that is why I don't post about my depression on social media, because I'm just like, I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be okay. And I was like, if everybody else around me is okay, then it doesn't matter how I feel. And I know I know I shouldn't think that way. It's just how I am. I've always put others before myself. And this depression has led to making my anorexia even worse, because I have clinical anorexia. I just naturally don't have a desire for food and naturally don't have a desire to eat. Add crippling depression on top of that, where you just don't have the desire to do anything, and I will go 48, 36 hours without eating or drinking anything because I just feel that bad. And the desire to eat is just not there. My stomach doesn't growl, it doesn't get hungry, nothing. And then on top of that, I've always suffered with insomnia. The depression just makes it worse. And then when I finally do go to sleep and dream, they are just horrible, horrible dreams. And so I don't think I've had a peaceful night's sleep in 2 months. I don't think I've been mentally sound and all there in almost 2 months. And that is a huge reason why I haven't done pre-recorded videos. I was so excited to finish Strypz, and I was so excited to share him with you guys, and I haven't been able to do that because I just have not been in the right mental headspace to do it. And, you know, I kind of pretended and pushed through with the 2 live streams I did, but I had friends around me who were able to halfway kind of sort of pull me out of the depressive state, and I was able to put on the mask for just long enough to do the live streams for everybody to think I'm okay, when in reality, I'm the furthest thing from okay. So, yeah. In the live streams, I've said stuff has been really rough in my personal life. It's been really, really rough in my personal life. And I'm not making this video to have a pity party for myself. I'm making this video because, 1, I kind of need to vent. 2, I guess I'm asking for help. Even if you can't help financially, not that I'm asking you to help financially, but if you want to help financially, that'd be absolutely wonderful, and it would be the biggest weight off of my shoulders. But even if you can't help financially, just know that your kind words mean so much to me. They keep me going. Even if I don't respond in the most positive way, they give me a reason to keep pushing through the depression. They give me a reason to keep wanting to be this big, happy, fluffy lion. Because without my friends, without my wife, I would have taken my own life. And I don't even say that jokingly. I'd be 6 feet under right now if it wasn't for the love and support of the people around me. So, saying all that to say, if you're depressed, don't be afraid to post it on social media. Don't be afraid to reach out to your friends, because they can help pull you out of a dark spot. I'm still going through that dark spot, but if it was not for my friends and not for my wife, I would have just not have cared. So if you're suffering and you don't feel like you can talk to your friends, I will leave, like I said earlier, the link down below for the suicide prevention thing. And like I said, this video was and is really, really taboo, because we have been so mentally trained to not talk about depression online, to not talk about suicide online, because we're supposed to always be just so happy in our online personas. And whenever somebody posts something depressing online, you have a whole host of people like, don't post that online, don't do that, we just want to see you happy. That is one of the most damaging things you can do to people, to tell somebody don't post your emotions online just because it makes them sad. That just angers me when I see people do that, and that's part of the reason I waited so long to reach out for help, because I didn't want to make other people upset. I was so scared about making other people uncomfortable and making other people sad because of my depressing, messed up life. But you know what? My life was depressing and messed up, and is depressing and messed up, and I can't pretend like it's not anymore. I can't. All that to say, be somebody's kind word today. Build them up. Don't tear them down. You know, treat everybody with kindness and respect, because without you, then, you know, somebody may not have the reason to continue on. I know that this video has been really, really eye-opening. It's been hard for me to make because I'm not vulnerable often. But if this helped you, if you're going through something, leave me a comment, reach out to me on Twitter, reach out to me on Instagram, shoot me a message. My ear is always open. Because even when I'm suffering and depressed, I try to always be there for other people. I need people too. I'm not trying to make you guys feel sorry for me. I just wanted you guys to know what's going on in my life, because I don't reach out for help often. And one of my friends confided in me that they were really, really worried about me because they didn't see me talking online. And my wife even confided in me that she was afraid to spend the night at one of her friends' house because she was afraid of what I would do if I'm alone. So I know it's really taboo to talk about your emotions online, but don't be afraid to publicly talk about your emotions, because everybody gets depressed. Everybody goes through stuff. Everybody suffers in their own way. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody copes with it in a different way. So, yes, I know it's more normal to reach out in a PM. And if you're more comfortable reaching out in a PM, then do that. And I'm also going to preface this by saying there are times that it's okay to give it publicly, but don't do it in somebody else's live stream. Don't do it on somebody else's page or under somebody else's post. Do it on your own page. Do it in your own video. Do it in your own post, because somebody will see it. I know that, you know, if you're hurt and suffering, you feel like you have to shout it to the world. Don't be afraid to shout it to the world. Just do it in the proper way. So, yeah, that's all I have today, guys. Just let you know that I've been really depressed. I've been suffering with depression, anorexia, and insomnia. Financially, my whole world has been flipped upside down, and this is just my cry for help. This is my cry for help. For everybody who has been that kind word to me, thank you so much. And be that kind word for somebody else today. You never know what people are going through. You never know what they're suffering through. So be that kind word for them. And if you are suffering, reach out to professionals, reach out to a friend that you trust. You know, as much as you think that all the popular people are your friends, at the end of the day, they don't really know you. Your friends do. Reach out to your friends if you're going through something, because they can help you a lot better than a complete stranger that you've never met before can. So, yeah, I know it's a lot to unpack, but if it is on your own personal timeline, don't be afraid to ask for help. So yeah, that's been my life for the last 2 months, and it's been gross. Hopefully this video helps somebody. Hopefully I'll also be back with much lighter, happier content soon. Usually I do a call to action here, and usually I'll tell you guys to subscribe and hit the like button and all that good stuff, but that just doesn't feel right doing that on this video. So if you know that one of your friends is suffering, talk to them. Be that shoulder for them to cry on. I know it's uncomfortable to hear about people's depression. I know it's so awkward to hear what they're going through, but be a good friend. And if they are really beyond your help, direct them to a professional, whether it's a suicide prevention line or whatever. Direct them to a professional. You know, everybody's life is precious and dear and wonderful. So just be awesome, guys. Hopefully I'll be able to somehow get out of this hole soon. I am looking for a new job. I have not had any luck. I've been applying places left and right. Just haven't had any luck, but prayerfully something will come through. You guys will see me in much happier spirits in a few weeks out at FursonaCon, as I am one of the DJs this year. And then a couple of months after that, you'll see me at NecoCon. So if you guys are going, don't be afraid to come up and give me a big, giant hug, because I'll definitely need it. I love you guys so much. Strypz is out. Peace.